Hi, I'm Joe Revita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are a Martin custom shop expert dealer, which means we give you an amazing experience on all Martin guitars, custom shop and otherwise, including this amazing Martin OMJM John Mayer model that I'm going to present to you today. You can find us right at empiremusic.com. You can always call us 412-343-5299 or text me 412-915-7118. So, John Mayer is one of the most prolific modern guitar players of our time. And this model represents his work with Martin in designing an instrument that speaks to his style of play and his inspirations. And you can really see that. I'm excited to go through the different attributes of this guitar that it leads to the sound that it produces. And signature models are cool because it gives you an idea of how the artist sees their voice being heard in the instrument. So obviously Martin has a rich history with signature models, with the Clapton and models like the John Mayer. The first John Mayer model that was made was a very limited, really high-end, super expensive, rare guitar. And then they came together with them on something that was still a very high-end guitar, but definitely in the price point of most standard Martin guitars. All solid wood, made in Pennsylvania, our home state. Really an exquisite instrument, and it sounds amazing. And if you follow John Mayer for his acoustic style, he's obviously really shown his ability to play many different styles of music, right? And he's just amazing at most all of them. But if you're thinking you want a fingerstyle acoustic guitar, a singer-songwriter instrument, I think this is as good of a choice that Martin offers. And there's a couple really cool, unique features in this instrument that allow for that sound. So it's a orchestra body style, so an OM or a triple O, depending on how you, this is an OM obviously because it's a full scale, 25.4. So very popular. So if you've ever held like a triple O 28 or an OM 28 or OM 21, same body shape, 25.4 inch scale. So a standard scale length. But the first kind of change that the manufacturer Martin worked with John in deciding was the top. So most Martin guitars are Sitka spruce tops, and then some will be Adirondack. You don't see too many of this type of top, which is Engelmann spruce. Now, Engelmann spruce is cool because it comes from the Pacific Northwest, whether it be Washington, Oregon, or the British Columbia. It's all kind of from that area. And it sounds a little bit more broken in. Sitka is pretty stiff and it produces a lot of output and a little bit brighter. This is a little bit softer. It allows for a more kind of like broken in tone. I think a lot of times when we think of Engelmann, I always kind of think the guitar already sounds kind of 10 years old. It sounds a little bit more vintagey out of the gate. Obviously, with that, you don't get the same type of headroom as Sitka spruce, so it wouldn't be necessarily able to get to the top volume of a Sitka spruce guitar. But when you're buying an instrument like this, you're probably not thinking about how loud it can be, right? You'd want to get a bigger dreadnought model or something like that might fit you better if you're looking for more juice. But it works amazingly here, and you can tell because the tone of the guitar is very mature, it's very articulate, it's round, it just sounds kind of, like I said, broken in. Now, East Indian rosewood back and sides, which when you select a Martin guitar and you get the standard series, you get some of the most beautiful rosewood in the world, and they do an amazing job sourcing it. You'll see some reflections here, but you can see all the pictures of this exact guitar and everything else in our collection right at empiremusic.com. We don't use any stock photos, so you'll always be able to see exactly the guitar that we have in stock. Another change that is a little different on this instrument compared to most of the standard models will be the nut width. It's 1 11/16. Martin has moved pretty much predominantly to 1 3/4 in their standard series. So a little bit thinner. So if you're looking for something that's a little easier to bar chord, a little bit easier to maneuver around here, 1 11/16. This is a low oval neck shape with a standard taper. So it's not quite as thin as the newer ones as well. A preference of John Mayer's was a little bit fuller feel. It doesn't feel demonstrably bigger. It's not like a vintage neck, but it's just a little bit chunkier. And it feels good. It's just like a very comfortable feeling design. The bracing is 5/16 inch scallop bracing. So if you think about that, 5/16 each would be similar to like a D35. So if you own a HD35, scalloped 5/16 inch, I'm sorry, D28. It'd be like a D28, 5/16 inch scallop brace. And that little bit thicker bracing will allow for the top to stay a little bit cleaner and have a little bit more attack right out of the top. You'll get more response with less work. And when you're playing fingerstyle, that's important. So instead of using a 1/4 inch brace, they're going to use this 5/16 inch. It's going to give it that sturdiness, the stiffness that makes the tone project right off the top right away. And that's important. Tone bars with this as well, so extra support from the tone bars, which is really cool. But let's go ahead and hear the guitar, because if you watch any of our videos that I do, you'll know that I'm big on dynamic range and how it sounds big to small, so let's check it out and start there. Really robust, wide range. The nice thing about this instrument is because of the 5/16 inch bracing, it's still scalloped, so you still get plenty of flexibility and warmth. You do notice right away the guitar is really loud with no work. When you barely touch it, it projects right away, which is very, very comfortable as a player to know that you don't have to, especially if you're going to play with fingerstyle or lightly, that you don't have to claw the strings off to get tone. And that makes you less accurate, and really most of us don't play that way. So, you're going to get that big, big range. It fills this room. When I was strumming this, I was like, man, if you were just playing alone in a living room with others, this would fill a room. It feels orchestral in that way. It's just really broad sounding. But it does come with a Fishman pickup installed, so for performance, it's ready to rock. You're already wired up and ready to go. Really, really just big sounding guitar. Let's check out the middle of the guitar, because this is another thing that I like to highlight in instruments. Warmth is always great, bass is always great. Don't get them confused. Bass just means bassy. It doesn't mean the sound is warm and round. This guitar is. The mids, which are always, to me, if you're going to be a fingerstyle guitar player, or somebody that's doing a lot of hammer-ons, or you want that middle of the guitar to be super, super responsive. Otherwise, it's not going to do what you want. This guitar will excel in that, quite nicely. Really, really amazing. You can just feel the tone pouring out of the instrument. Martin makes incredible instruments. They designed the modern acoustic guitar, and you can get a historical tone, something that reminds us of the most famous records through their line, or you can get a model like this that hints to the past, because John's work has really been something that is still obviously built on other tones and artists that he's heard over his lifetime, but gives us a modern approach to his playing and an ability to offer different styles of music. The OMJM John Mayer is an incredible instrument. You can find it right at empiremusic.com. You can always call us, 412-343-5299. Myself, Todd, Anthony are always glad to help you out. You can always call or text me directly, 412-915-7118. We offer a full factory setup on every instrument that we sell, whether you choose a beautiful instrument like this, through anything else in our collection. We'll make sure it's fully set up, not just inspected, fully set up, So when you pick it up in store or we ship it to you, it's ready to play the second you get it. So I'm Joe from Empire Music. Please subscribe to our channel. Check out empiremusic.com. This is the Martin OMJM John Mayer. Thanks for watching.